matters in this election or is an issue in this election?
Yeah, I'm going to hold it because I think there's some confusion behind the scenes. A woman by the name of Kathy Ray emailed me. We're going to put that email on the screen and then I'll comment after it. But I think it's fair for people to see what she wrote and get my response. I'll leave it at that. You need to be fired for the race-baiting comment you made tonight. It's okay for blacks to discuss certain subjects, but not whites. And then it goes on. Let's pull up the rest of it. Okay, so really, you are what I call a. Now she tried to write the N-word, but she spelled it. I wish we would just put it on the screen. It's after 9 o'clock tonight. People have the right to see it. She wrote Niger. Not a black person. You are a racist. Niger. You are what's wrong with the world. And so I would say to Kathy a couple of things. Number one, you mischaracterized what I said. I didn't say that white people couldn't talk about race, but contrary, we think that race is an authentic discussion to have. It's one we're having tonight because it's one many of you are talking about at home. And it's one that has clearly entered the Atlanta mayor's race. And that's why behind the scenes, my colleagues and I, white and black, we decided, hey, let's go for it, right? Because we do try to keep it real here, and I think we do a very good job of it. So I think when arguing with somebody, you have to be careful not to mischaracterize their viewpoint. So I won't mischaracterize your view either, Kathy Ray. I get it. On December 5th, 2017, you think it's okay to call this journalist a nigger. I don't. But I could clap back and say a few things to you. But instead, I'll let your words, Kathy Ray, speak for themselves. And that'll be the last word.
It's a young samurai, I smoke a spliff in the cut, then I pass a lot to my bro. No fuck with my flow. Couple bad bitches in a cup of that tro. So it's just THC.
BB and Jack Frost, what's up, party people? Hey, before this video even continue, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Alright, y'all heard the same thing I heard. Y'all read the same thing I read. Y'all seen the same thing I saw. You know what's more dangerous than these freaking racists that's running around with the skinheads and all of the weird tattoos and going high Hitler or whatever the hell they do. I don't know what they do. You know what's more dangerous than them? The racist that blends in with the rest of us. That's the racist that's the worst. Because that's the racist that's behind enemy lines. We're the enemy to them. That's the racist that's doing shit. That's the racist that's helping others. There's this theory that people prescribe to that I personally don't, and that's keep your enemies close, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. No! You insulate yourself with your friends and you keep your enemies as far away as damn possible. That's why y'all keep getting stabbed in the back. People will say, oh man, gotta keep your friends close, your enemies closer. And then they wonder why they constantly getting stabbed in the back, and when they turn around, it seems like they're surrounded by the enemy. Because you're surrounded by the enemy. This lady tried to even say, oh, you're a Niger, because she couldn't spell. So you're a Niger, you're not even a black person. Like, that doesn't validate anything. We know what you're trying to say, and we know how you're trying to bring it. You see, a black person, if they would have wrote that, wouldn't have called a Niger. Definitely wouldn't have called her a Niger. Probably a Niger. Anyway, you get the point. Probably would have said, something along of a different lines. You understand? Black people like calling other black people that do weird shit coons. Facts is there are a lot of coons out there. Let's keep it a buck. There's a lot of coons out there. Come on, there's tons of them. That sheriff, Ben Carson. There's just tons of coons. I'm not even gonna go. There's certain people I just don't want to really call names, but there's just tons of coons out there. But the worst people are the people that hide in plain sight. Well, we don't know. Nobody know who that lady is. That lady could be a freaking teacher. Half of her class is freaking people of color. More than half of her class, 75% of her class is people of color. That lady could be a freaking care for people at old folks' homes. That could be her job. You understand? Everybody upset at these skinheads, and at least I know who you are. I understand your position. I don't agree with it. I think you got a right to have your position, but at least you ain't being sneaky about it. At least you're not trying to infiltrate me and make me lower my defenses in order for you to incept me with freaking self-hating imagery. Because that's what a lot of them sneaky ass, fake, not racist people do. They come around you and they try to do all of this explaining about how, we need to just forget about slavery because, I wasn't a slave. I wasn't a slave owner. You wasn't a slave, right? Was you a slave? And the fucking coon is going to say, yeah, you right. I wasn't a slave and you didn't own slaves. So that means that we shouldn't think about slavery no more. Well, when you put it into the perspective that when the Holocaust, and I'm not trying to talk negative about anybody that no Jews at all. I don't even want to get that. I'm not even trying to talk bad about Germans. I'm just saying, when the Holocaust happened, after the fact, billions of dollars was given to the survivors, to the people affected. Right? That's what happened. That's a real thing. They even got an entire state. Right? That's what happened. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Black people came out of slavery. Did we even get a pat on the back? I'm just curious. Did we get a pat on the back? Anyway, point being, when you're going to tell me that we must never forget about 9/11, which was a terrible tragedy, and I'm not saying that we should forget about it. Maybe we shouldn't forget about 9/11 either. But when you tell me we should never forget about 9/11, which, directly affected maybe 2,000-3,000 people, 4,000-5,000 people, let's say 10,000 people. But we must absolutely forget that a tragedy happened that affected tens of millions. Are you serious? Because when I think about slavery, I don't just think about slavery in America. I think about slavery in the Caribbean. I think about slavery in everywhere. South America, Mexico. I think about slavery that's been happening everywhere. Puerto Rico, all of the isles. I think about all of the slavery that's going on. I don't just think about, blacks in slavery. I think about all of, because I consider all of these people my brothers or family. Think about all that slavery. So when I hear somebody say, oh, well, black people need to just forget about slavery, the first thing I think about is all of the women that was raped. All of the men that was raped. Don't. No, that's how they used to try to break us. They have people hold you down while one of the freaking somebody rapes you. Men, not just women. All of the men that had their freaking that had their manhoods cut off. So when people say this to me, or I hear someone say this, when it's somebody that's not the Caucasian says it, I'm thinking to myself, I gotta watch out for this guy. Maybe I need to keep my distance. When a person of color says it, It kind of breaks my heart. Because I'm not trying to say that we should live in that time. But hell, we're not going to forget about 2 buildings going down that only affected about 10,000 people, which we shouldn't forget about. Why we should forget about our great-grandparents being raped, men and women, being lynched. To this day, being branded, being put in hot boxes and sat out in the sun all day as punishment. I hope the internet finds this lady. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.